And a new study found that the vast majority of Americans feel that they are expected to tip in more places now than just 5 years ago. The new study from Pew Research Center also found that Americans are confused by tipping culture. Nearly half of respondents say tipping depends on the situation, and only 34% said it's extremely easy to know whether or not to tip. Joining us now to help break down this study is Drew DeSilver. He's a senior writer at the Pew Research Center. Drew, thanks for joining us. So it is true that over the last couple of years, it's not that I'm confused about it. It's that I have to tip for literally everything that you do.
Well, I feel pressured because when I'm, closing out a sale and like the second to last question is, would you like to tip? I'm like, I am confused. I'm like, am I supposed to?
Or not even that. You're just getting a coffee somewhere and then they turn that little screen to you and they say, So what has the study found that is confusing Americans about tipping?
A lot. In fact, people are confused about whether they're supposed to tip. They're not really sure how easy it is to know when to tip or how much to tip. They tip in very different circumstances. Not even sure how we think of tipping. Is tipping something that we're supposed to do because society tells us to do it? Is it something we're supposed to do because we're obligated to the server to do it? Is it something we do because we choose to do it? There's not a whole lot of agreement on much of anything, except that we do, like you said, most Americans do feel like they're being asked to tip in more places than they were pre-pandemic.
And, as you point out, we've got all these suggestions along the way. You do DoorDash and a tip is included, but then afterwards they say, would you like to tip additionally to your Dasher? Or we just showed, an example of those. Here's what a 15% tip looks like. Here's what at the end of some of these receipts. And sometimes their calculations are not accurate, Vlad.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes, you got to double check that.
Whoa.
So what did Americans say about the situations in which they were more likely to tip and about what they felt when it came to merited a tip?
They when they look at how they're deciding whether to tip or not, it's service. Overwhelmingly, people say that's the major factor when they decide to tip. Smaller percentages say it has to do with social pressure to tip or how much they think the server is making. It's really, but primarily we're talking, it's service. That's what people think about when they think about tipping.
Was there a question in there, Drew, about whether or not Americans would support just higher cost at a restaurant? I mean, to not have to do like it is in Europe, right?
Yeah.
Where service charges are included and you tip, if you tip at all, it's usually whatever is actually left over from the full amount that you've given to the server. Or if you're using a credit card, you might leave a coin, a pound, or a euro. But it's not these 20-25% tips that we see in the United States. Would people just be comfortable if restaurants said, okay, we're going to charge an extra 20%?
I like that.
I like that. I mean, how would people feel about that? Would you even realize it if you...
Did the survey ask that question?
Yes, sorry. I'm like, you can see I'm getting on my soapbox.
Yeah, we didn't ask that specifically. I know that restaurateurs are very sensitive to menu prices, and they know that people make their decisions based on what the price on the menu is. So we've seen in recent years a lot more restaurants have begun adding automatic service charges. They'll say at the bottom of the bill, plus 20% service charge. Now, the problem with the service charge is it's not the same as a tip. The restaurateur could give it to the staff. The restaurateur could use it to subsidize health insurance. The restaurateur could use it for boosting the bottom line. And people, when we asked people how they feel about those automatic service charges, that was one of the few things that there was overwhelming consensus of. I think 7 out of 10 people say they don't like them. 50% of people say they really don't like them.
Did you see that viral video where it was a grocery shopper person who delivered the groceries to the door, but then it was a lot of groceries and she wasn't going to get tips, so she put it all back in her car?
No.
Because she felt like, listen, this was hard work. This wasn't $50 worth of groceries. It was like $350, and I deserve a tip.
In that situation, that person deserves a tip. Is it 20%? That's for $350. That's a lot of money, right? But I mean, that's the convenience factor. You could have driven your butt to the supermarket and picked that stuff up on your own and brought it back to your house. Instead, you want somebody else to do it for that
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
something,
It was
as they
a
say in
hot-
Nigeria.
right,
Something.
a little something.
Give me something.
It was a hot and heavy debate over that viral video. Drew DeSilver, you've given us something to continue to talk about. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.